All right, well, hair loss can be devastating for many people, and especially for women, and it's also fairly common. Well, 3 women, you know, 1 out of 3 women, at least one of them will experience something called alopecia at some point in their life.
Yeah, so it's very likely that you or someone you know is experiencing alopecia, and joining us right now to speak about it is Dermatologist Dr. Jeanine Downie and one of her patients as well, Wendy Pittman. Thank you guys both for being here.
My pleasure. Thank
really
you for having us.
So there are actually 3 main types of alopecia. Like, what's the difference?
So there's androgenetic alopecia, which everybody thinks about, which is the thinning genetically that runs in your family. There's traction alopecia, which is from tight braids and tight hairstyles, which we'll get into with my patient.
We already talked about it.
And then there's alopecia totalis, which means that there's no hair, you know, coming from your head. And universalis, quite frankly, is no hair on the entire body. And that includes no eyebrows, no eyelashes, that type of thing. So there's several types.
So how common is alopecia in your practice, and what do you actually tell patients? Does it depend on the type?
Unfortunately, Irony, very, very common. And what happens is a lot of people come in, I think it's something like 60% of men over the age of 40 experience some type of alopecia, and roughly almost the same amount of women. So people come in and their chief complaint is their face is sagging, and then they're like, oh, but my hair. So it's very common. So I would say if I'm seeing 40 patients in a day, at least half of them have concerns about their hair.
And Wendy, talk a little bit about your experience and how did you realize that you were suffering from this?
So absolutely. So all roads lead to COVID, right? I think all of us are guilty of staying in the mirror and finding new things about ourselves during that whole span of COVID. And so that's when it really was, you know, nerve-wracking for me to see that my hair had started to thin along the perimeter here. And I know that 10 years of wearing sew-in for extensions was a no-no. So it really became an issue for me and very sensitive for me during COVID. And now that I am premenopausal, it's now another, you know, issue of dealing with that. So that's when it really became an issue for me.
And which form of it were you dealing with?
Traction.
Traction. Okay.
Of course,
And her edges, I'm regrowing her edges, but then what's happening is the braid patterns are too tight, and that's not, I'm not loving that at all.
So this was a no-no today,
and then
Wait, so
when
did,
she
doctor,
goes to
did she
sleep,
show up today and did you give her the stank eye?
I was like, what are we doing? We're on TV together, for God's sake. She's a lovely patient, but she's recalcitrant. And a lot of my patients, like what I tell them is no tight hairstyles, and then she cannot sleep with her hair up like that. So you're going to have to take it down, gently wrap it, sleep with a satin cap and a satin pillowcase, like I tell you. But we've regrown it some, but then she keeps acting up.
Yeah.
And this is real life, so I'm okay with that.
Are there any cases, doctor, where it's irreversible? Like she was saying traction, there were some treatments you could go through.
Right,
PRP.
yeah, exactly. So I actually have the Keralase hair laser in my practice, which is not covered by insurance, which really opens the channels of the hair follicles, and then you rub in biomimetic peptides. I recommend Nutrafol in my practice all the time. I recommend something else called Definage. So Wendy, right now, your Definage, Nutrafol, the Lambdaptil, a long German name, it's a shampoo and spray, good for all ethnicities and skin types, everything that I'm saying, and all hair types, and good for men and women, Candice. We didn't leave you out.
Oh, no, thank you. I need the help. But does it impact certain races more than others because of how
culture?
Culture.
Yeah.
And exactly.
So it can, and so black women seem to have more significant alopecia and more, you know, lasting alopecia than white women. But quite frankly, bad hair habits, over dyeing your hair, over frying your hair, all of that. And white women do that as well as Latino, Asian, and Native American women. No one seems to be happy with the hair they have, and they always want it in another state. And so it's very frustrating. And then my male patients, one of them came in the other week, and as he's sitting there talking to me, he's scratching his head like crazy. And I'm like, honey, you're breaking your hair as you're speaking to me. And he's like, oh, it's a nervous habit. I don't like doctors.
Well, thank you so much, doctor. And I will look for your advice because, you know, I was heading to Turkey to get that transplant.
And Wendy, we're not giving you too much grief because your edges are coming back like they never left.
No, the edges are coming back, and the hair will be down under. The hair will be down tonight.
And there can be thyroid problems and stuff like that. So you do have to get blood checked. I should say that.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Downie. and Wendy. Thank you both. And for more tips on taking care of your skin, your hair, and many other issues, you can visit the National Alopecia Awareness
Or for
website.
upkeep, you know. Gotta
Yeah,
keep the
exactly.
skin right.
The information is right there on your screen.